guys, I welcome you to the biology class. And in this biology class, I'm going to be talking about the endocrine glands. The endocrine glands, as you know, they are the glands that secrete their product or secretion directly into the blood stream. That means they are well supplied with blood vessel, and it is the blood that takes the product or the secretion directly from the point of production to where they are needed. So I have here some of the endocrine glands which I'm going to be looking at. I have the pituitary gland, I have the adrenal gland, I have the thyroid gland, I have the parathyroid gland, I have the ovaries, and then the testes. So I'm going to take a look at them one after the other, talking about the different hormones that each of the uh, gland help to secrete, and then the function of the particular hormone secreted, and also the effect of both over-secretion and under-secretion of the hormone. So I'm going to talk about the first one, which is the pituitary gland. Actually, pituitary gland lies below the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus actually is the part of the brain that will stimulate the pituitary gland to secrete the hormones that we're going to talk about. Number one hormone that is produced by the pituitary gland is prolactin. Okay, so looking at prolactin, like I said earlier, prolactin helps to control the production of milk, and if the prolactin is under-secreted, it's going to lead to poor production of milk, and if it is over-secreted, of course, milk will produce in excess. So it's very important in lactating mothers, lactating animals, so that they can be able to feed their young ones with milk. Okay, so the next one is oxytocin. The oxytocin helps in the contraction of the uterine walls. This is very important in pregnant females. Okay, so when the pregnant female is about to uh, give birth to its young ones, it is important that the wall of the uterine contract in order to enable birth to take place and birth to be easy. But when there is under secretion of the oxytocin, it will eventually lead to delay labor. Okay, so that means the female responsible may not be able to give birth on time. At times, they will need to admit oxytocin either intravenously to the mother. And if it is under secreted, there will be delay labor. But if it is over secreted, that means it will lead to fasting labor. Because, like I said, the work of the oxytocin is to help help the uterine walls, that's the wall of the uterus, to contract in order to aid giving birth by the mammals. Okay, so the next one is ADH. ADH is antidiuretic hormone. The antidiuretic hormone, once again, is produced by the pituitary gland, and basically it is responsible for the reabsorption of water from the kidney tubules. The kidney tubules usually will reabsorb water back into the body system depending on the amount of ADH that is produced. Okay, now how will the body know the amount of ADH to be produced? How will the pituitary gland know the amount of ADH to secrete into the blood system? That will depend on the osmotic pressure of the body. When the osmotic pressure of the body is high, that means the salt content of the body is very high. That means at that point, a little more pituitary gland will be secreted into the what? Into the bloodstream, and that will make much water to be reabsorbed back into the body system, and that will help, of course, to balance the osmotic pressure of the body, and that's in osmoregulation, balancing between salt and water in the body. So if there is under secretion of ADH, that's antidiuretic hormone, of course, is going to result into diuresis. Diuresis simply means a condition where the kidney tubules are unable to reabsorb water back into the body system. And if there is over-secretion of ADH, okay, so that means much water will also be reabsorbed back into the body, and then the person concerned or the animal concerned will have a lot of water accumulating into the body. And so that is for the ADH. Okay, so somatotrophin is a growth hormone secreted by the pituitary gland, and it helps to control the growth of an animal. So if it is over-secreted, it's going to lead to gigantism, and if it's under-secreted, it will lead to dwarfism. The next one is the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland, as you can see, is located in the neck region, the anterior region of the neck, and it helps to produce tyrosine. The function of the tyrosine that is produced is to regulate the rate of metabolism, especially in respiration, and it also stimulates mental and physical growth and development in young animals. So the effect of the undersecretion of tyrosine in an adult will lead to a swollen neck, which is a condition that is known as goiter. And that is because the thyroid gland is making effort and trying to produce more tyrosine. So the more it tries to produce tyrosine, the bigger the neck becomes, a condition that is known as goiter in adults. In infants or children, the undersecretion of tyrosine will lead to a condition known as cretinism. Cretinism means a situation whereby a child is mentally and physically retarded, and such child is known to be as a cretin. So that is as a result of a undersecretion of tyrosine. Meanwhile, the effect of oversecretion of tyrosine will result in hyperthyroidism, which means increase in metabolic rate. It will also lead to overactivity, or what you can refer to as hyperactivity. It can lead to excessive growth or gigantism. It can also lead to loss of weight as a result of excessive activities. The next gland is the parathyroid gland, and it's located at the anterior part of the neck near the thyroid gland, as you can see in the picture. Okay, so it helps to produce parat hormone, which controls the level of calcium content in the blood. Oversecretion of parat hormone will bring about softening of the bone, which will lead to osteomalacia, while the undersecretion will lead to tetany or muscle spasms, which can also possibly lead to death. The next gland is the adrenal gland, and just as the name implies, ad plus renal, that means it's added to the renal. It's located at the top of the kidneys, and it helps to produce adrenaline. The function is that it increases the heartbeat and respiration. It also increases sugar content of the blood. It also helps to prepare the body for emergency, and that is why it is referred to as a emergency hormone. It's also associated with fear and anxiety. If it is over secreted, adrenaline will increase excitement and over anxiety, and also it will increase blood pressure and heartbeat, and it will also increase the dilation of the pupil. It will lead to heavy breathing, and the undersecretion will lead to low blood pressure and also lead to low heartbeat, and then we also bring about low response to emergency. Next is the ovaries, and it is found in the female organism. It produces estrogen and progesterone. The estrogen helps to stimulate the development of female secondary sexual character at puberty, which include the pubic hair, round body, smooth skin, uterus growth, and development of the breast. Okay, so if it is over secreted in the female organism, it will result in abnormal urge for sex and also lead to early maturation of a secondary sexual character. However, if it is under secreted, it will lead to poor development of reproductive system, and it will also lead to delayed secondary sexual character. On the other hand, progesterone is referred to as pregnancy hormone because it helps to maintain the fetus during its development in the uterus, and it is also helping to prepare the uterus for the attachment of the embryo. Next is the testis, and it is located in the scrotum of the male organism. It helps to produce testosterone. The function of testosterone is to stimulate the appearance of the secondary sexual characters in males at puberty. And those secondary sexual characters include pubic hairs, beard, mustache, thick muscles, deep voice, and so on. So it also stimulates the production of spermatozoa by the testes, and also stimulate the development of the male organ. If it is over-secreted in the male, it will result in excessive development of sexual organs and the secondary sexual character. It will also lead to abnormal urge for sex. So if it is under-secreted, it leads to underdevelopment of sexual organ and also leads to low urge for sex. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe for more videos, for more educational videos. Like this video, share with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you very much.